Okay, there we go. Right, we're actually live right now.
Okay.
Let's turn the camera around. There we go. There's Alan.
Yeah.
um, I think we are doing a short live though, like, as in this way. Can we not change the?
Orientation.
Oh god. Orientation.
No, this is for the camera, right?
You know what? I reckon we have to roll it like this. All right, let's just roll with it like this then.
Okay. Let's do it then.
All right, let's do it. Okay, so I'm here at Infinitum today with Alan,
Hi there.
the guy that's been helping me get to scratch. We're not that close at the moment, I've got to be honest, but we're getting there. So I'm currently in the middle of a journey doing 1,000 chips a day for 7 days in a row. This is day 3, and we're getting a lesson just to basically sort out my chipping. So I'll hand the floor over to you on this.
We were just speaking there. Jacob's played this weekend on the tournament. And obviously his chipping was not quite there, so gave me a call. Said, "Hey Alan, let's have a lesson on short game." I think we've barely had any lessons on short game, especially we've been focusing more on the long game. So we're gonna have a short game lesson today. But you know, this area is where people don't spend enough time on the short game. Obviously, when we play a round of 18 holes, not even myself, I'm a professional. I barely play now, obviously, as you know. We had a baby as well, pretty much as you guys, same July, right?
Hard life now.
Yeah, so, but still, like, even the professionals, obviously, this weekend we saw, you know, the Masters week, Roy McIlroy, you know, all these guys, how many greens they've been missing. But then they were putting up the score up there and saving the scoring by having a great short game. So, you know, I think if we can improve your short game today a bit, give you a couple of ideas to work on, to take with yourself out there and put it in, you know, on practice on the course. I think you'll improve your general score, no? So we're gonna have a look at your technique. You know, we're gonna go under different shots, and then we go from there.
Yeah, nice one.
Cool. So, what club do you use?
This is a 56-degree Cobra.
Always use that?
Yeah, okay.
For chipping or not? I'm asking, eh?
Oh no, pretty much, unless it's like, so I've got 2 kind of chips. One where it's just like the conventional chip, and another one is more of like, I call it like a robot chip, where it's just like a putt-and stroke like that.
Okay.
And if
okay, but in general terms, like more or less from this distance, obviously we have different flags here.
Yeah,
I think
so
the furthest is what, 50 yards probably?
Yeah, it would definitely be 56 then, yeah.
Okay, right. So let's start obviously analyzing by shorter distances to a longer distance, okay? So obviously when we come to analyze your technique as well, obviously we find the grass and the here pretty good. So, you know, obviously we're gonna consider the conditions of the course are in good condition. So let's have you having a couple of chips. Let's start going for example, for the black flag, okay?
Okay.
So before you even like go for this chip, I would like you to explain what are you trying to achieve in this shot.
So what I will be thinking first is landing zone. Like, where do I want to land? How is it going to roll after the land?
Okay.
So here it's going from left to right.
Yes.
So I'd want to, and it seems like it's going to run quite far down. So I'd probably go about like 2 or 3 club lengths to the left, and end like maybe just a meter or 2 onto the green.
Okay. But what? Okay, that would be good technique-wise. But what are we really trying to achieve in that shot?
So,
well, I mean, if you were on the course at your ball, you know, we're playing a par 4. You're here in 2. What are you trying to achieve here?
Realistically, I want to get it within sort of 5-6 feet of where I am right now. Like, obviously I'd love to get it in. But,
and then perhaps you make the putt, say for par. If not, 2 putts, bogey, walk away, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so good. Okay, that's, you know, that's the main thing, you know. So let's have you hitting a couple of shots. Let's have a look how you would do this, and then we'll go from there. Okay. So a little bit short.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's go again. Ooh.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
Here a
not
little bit
good.
behind.
It's a
Okay.
chunky.
So that was okay. One more. Was that some of them shots were happening on the weekend, or?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. One more. What are you trying to do with the ball position? You trying to put it in the center, or are you trying to put it
Like
further on the left?
slightly towards like the front, I think,
Okay.
is what I'm
To try to get it a little bit
trying.
higher, or?
No, to try and like get it to run a bit more. I feel like if it was higher, I'd go back here,
Okay.
like put it towards the back. But
Okay.
then I feel like that's a harder shot to make. So I kind of normally like center, like front center,
Okay.
and then line up the shoulders.
Hold on a second. Let me get my phone so I film this.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and often
When
like
I'm ready.
probably like 60-70% weight on the
Okay.
front foot.
Okay. Right. So 3 shots, and then 5 or 6
Yeah,
feet.
they're free putts for me.
That's okay. So 2 out of them, they're they're better than the second one, right?
Yeah.
Now, so obviously, like for this flag here, first of all I would go and say, okay, what ball flight I'm gonna play, right? We haven't got any like danger really in front, right? So I'm just trying to put the ball on the green and let it roll toward the flag, right? Now, when I ask you where do you thought, well, what were you trying to do with the ball position? Your ball position, as you said, it's slightly more to your left side, right? When it's slightly more to your left side, obviously the ball's gonna tend, well, you're gonna tend to add more loft to the club, right? So then the ball's gonna fly a little bit higher and it's gonna roll less. Now, as I said, for this flag, perhaps that ball flight or that ball position was not totally correct. Now, one of the shots you did hit it behind as well, right? So I filmed you, and you can see here, right?
Come take a look at this.
Okay, so you can see that ball position is pretty much towards your left. Now, if you see that hand, so that shaft, it's pretty much straight.
Yeah.
Now, when we're chipping, we are looking to hit first the ball, or making sure the contact is great, right? Now, that to me is too much straight. So that shaft is too straight.
Yeah.
I would tend to look a little bit more of forward or shaft lean
So like
ahead.
this?
Yes, so kind of like the loft in the club perhaps.
Okay.
Now, what you're achieving with this, not only you taking loft out of the club, but you also having your hands in front. So you're gonna have more chances of hitting, a better chip, let's say. So
Okay.
because you're trying to put 60% of your weight on your left, right? Because obviously there's not enough of a string to compress the ball, right? That's why we
Yeah.
start a little bit more weight on my left to try and hit the angle of attack, having a little bit more hitting it down, right? So you're doing that right, but then you have the shaft like that. So you can hit a good shot, but you're making it way harder for you.
Okay.
So if we look at the movement, right? See, so when you came and hit it, right? You see that, let's see if I can get that. Okay, pretty much the ball's there. Your hands are barely in front of a ball, so that ball flight is gonna just go up, it's gonna bounce on the green, it's gonna barely release, right? So position-wise is fine.
Release
Now,
means like when it lands, it rolls more.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So the ball's gonna bounce and it's gonna stop,
Okay.
Now, I want you to set up to this ball now. Okay, and I'm gonna have you move in that ball position slightly center back of your stance, right?
Okay.
Exactly. Now I want you to have, yes, correct. Now I'm gonna remove that ball and I want you to have a couple of practice swings.
Okay.
And what I would like you to try here is that you're trying to have your hands always that way a bit more, okay?
Okay.
So what we're trying to do is chip and run here, right? We're not trying to bounce any, we're not trying to fly any bunkers here or anything. We're just trying to put the ball in the green and let it release, right? So
Okay.
we're gonna have a small swing and it's kind of like a putting stroke, okay?
Yeah.
Have another practice. Okay,
So
good. Yes.
loft it.
There. Okay, and again. Okay, now set up to the ball again. Okay, ball slightly to your right feet. Yeah, good. Hands forward. Yes, hold them there and go for it. Okay,
Ah.
no problem, that's okay. So obviously when we change something on the swing, it definitely feels awkward.
Yeah.
Okay, and again,
So,
there, yes, hands forward. Okay, good, look at that ball, right? You see how
running a
much
lot
it's
more.
rolling?
Yeah.
Okay, that was good. Okay, obviously that too much speed on that, okay? So let me hit one, right? So this is how I would like it to be. So I'm gonna put the ball slightly more on my right side, okay? Hands forward, I'm gonna hold it there. Okay, perhaps a little bit too much, it didn't spin as much as I wanted, but it's reaching there. If I was to put my hands, as you were, there, right? If I come at the same position at impact, oh, I've thinned that. That's where it goes in. If I do that, let me hit another one. If I do that, you see like the ball goes higher,
Yeah.
bounces, and it barely reaches there. And I've left myself, a longer distance. So ball slightly more on your right feet, hands forward, and that's how you're gonna finish, okay? So this
Okay.
is like a basic chip and run. We're very near to the green, so we barely need any string or anything. We just want a simple chip on the green and let it release, okay? Let's go again.
I think my preference as well to like trying to get the ball higher
Yeah.
is because like some of the courses I play on around here,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the green is like concrete, whereas
Okay.
like it's just
Yeah.
gonna run a million
okay.
miles, like it's never gonna stop. But like these greens are really nice, so you get it does actually kind of stop when you
Yeah.
get like a high lofted thing. So,
Okay, so ball slightly back in your stance, so
oh yeah, so
slightly
in my
back for
stance.
you because that's pretty much center, okay? That's better, good. Hands forward, yes,
Okay.
good.
And then
Good. Okay, and again, obviously we have to then hit it a little bit softer, okay?
yeah, because I got because that's the same power as before, but
Exactly.
obviously with the new
Because
shot,
it was
it's going
like
further.
exactly. Now you deloft in the clap a little bit, so then the ball will launch lower.
Okay.
Hands forward. Good.
I'm still hitting that quite
And again.
hard. Yeah.
Good, but now we have a great impact. Now it's just a matter of adapting to, you see like it's consistently long,
Yeah.
but the shot, the impact is pretty much, it's good every time, We've not hit behind the ball, not one single shot. So that's what we want you to do. Every single shot, when we're chipping, number one priority here is that the impact, it's perfect. You need to hit the ball in the right place,
Okay.
not hitting it behind. Or once we have that, we can work on how much power you putting into the shot or how little, right? But that's what we want. So let's go again. Okay, good. Back in your stance. Good. Hands a little bit forward. Okay, good. Yes. Okay, now that was better, but with a slightly short backswing there. Okay, a little bit more.
Okay. So back in the stance, hands
Yes.
forward.
Good.
And then, oh,
Okay, and again.
yeah.
Give yourself a little bit more room from the ball. Sometimes I see yourself like really close to the ball.
Yeah. Okay. So a bit further back.
Yeah, good. Okay, good there.
Like this.
Now then move.
Hands forward.
There you go. That's slightly back. Get your feet almost touching together, a little bit closer to each other. Yeah, good, perfect, nice. Good. Okay, that was almost perfect. Okay, and again. Now, every single shot you hit when you're chipping, that should be your worst shot, let's say. Right?
Yeah.
Contact was good, line was good, just tiny bit short. Okay, slightly, see that ball position, straight, it's a little bit ahead of center. There you go, that's better, good. Okay, good, there you go, we're getting somewhere. Okay, and again. So you see that one, you've left yourself a chance of, making one putt
Yeah. Actually
perhaps.
putting that. Yeah.
Okay,
So
good,
here.
perfect. Okay, good. You see, this movement we're doing here obviously would be from the fairway when the lie is nice, when the ball is, you know, so the lie of the ball is pretty good, you know, and you barely have to do any movement, right? You just moving it, you know, the club until here. There's barely any wrist going on, and then when we hit the ball, we're gonna finish on the same position, right?
Yeah.
So it's yes, exactly. Good. So that's a chip and run. Okay. Let's hit one more.
okay.
Okay, ball position, slightly back in your stance a little bit more. There you go. Okay, good.
Like that.
Yeah, that's good. Good. Perfect. Okay, you were probably aiming a little bit right, but you see how much that ball's running now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So that would be a chip and run. Obviously now it's a matter of practicing and getting that confidence. So setup was good, you know, just making sure distance is okay. Sometimes you get a little bit closer. Now ball position was wrong, and then the way the club was set up behind the ball was pretty much like that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like you were telling me you want the ball to roll, but it looked to me that you were trying to hit like a high shot.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a simple one. Now let's move on to a longer flag, longer distance. So let's start by the yellow. Okay, so
Yep.
what we have here, like 20 yards?
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Let's go for that. You would still go with 56?
I would still go the 56.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm one of them, those guys that I prefer using the same club every time around the green.
Okay.
And then just adjusting the ball position and the loft of the club in regards of what I want to do with the ball.
Okay.
I think it's, for me and for many of my clients, I believe it's easier to use just one club and change ball trajectory,
Yeah.
and not changing different clubs. You know, I find it
'Cause
easy.
I've been toying with the idea of getting like a 60-degree.
Okay.
But then you wouldn't recommend that.
Well, no, it's fine. I mean, for example, myself, I use a 58. My lofted club is the more lofted club in my back is a 58, and I use 58 for everything. And then if I want to hit it low, I put it back in my stance. If I want to hit it high, I will hit it, you know.
Yeah.
It's fine, you know, 60-degree, whatever. 56 is fine, whatever you feel more, you know, and that's very personal and what you feel more confident.
Well,
And then
just
it's a
that
matter of,
never tried another club. Like 56 has always been my highest lofted
okay.
club.
So you see, like, I would recommend definitely a 60 or obviously if you have 56, a 60 degrees for the bunker shots, because some shots will require, you know, a more lofted club. So perhaps with 56, you will still be able to, you know, get up and down from some areas, but perhaps with a bit more extra loft would be easier for you, you know?
Yeah.
So as I say, I use 58 for everything. You can use 56, and then that's very personal and seeing, you know, what you feel more confident with, you know. And then it doesn't mean you need to always use the 56. You can try different clubs. It's just you need to use what gives you the better result, you know. So let's go for the yellow flag. Okay. Now, for that flag, before you even go for it, I would do exactly the same shot we're doing,
Yeah.
okay, because we have nothing in front. We're just putting the ball to roll there, okay. Perhaps we're just going to move the club a little bit higher on the backswing, okay,
Yeah.
and the follow through will be the same. Now, because the club is going a little bit high on the way back, you're obviously going to start using a little bit more wrist, barely any wrist, okay. We're not going to cock our wrist a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's just going to be progressive wrist in regards to how far you go back, okay?
Okay.
Good, okay. So if you were to do that shot, I think you would go to the last flag.
Ah, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so go a little bit lower. Well, just hit a couple to
Back of
adapt
the
to that, yes.
stance. Yeah.
Good,
Oh, it's going in.
go ahead, imagine. Okay, so that was pretty good. You see, like, there's any effort, you know, there's barely any effort into that shot, and the result is there,
Yeah.
right? Now, as I said before, what we are focusing here is that the impact with club and ball is every single time you hit the ball, it can be a better or worse shot, but you need to hit the ball, you know, on the right there, on the perfect spot, you know. Sometimes we worry too much about trajectory of the ball, you know, and then we're forgetting the main thing, that is every single time you hit the ball, you need to hit it on the right spot. By having the hands forward, it's going to help you hit it in the right spot, you know.
Okay.
Okay, let's go again. That was good. Okay,
So
good.
Here.
Perfect.
Oh,
Okay, no problem. So you see you've hit a bit of a hosel shot there, shank. How would you call it, shank? Yeah.
I don't even know. My golf terminology is so bad, but I guess I
Okay,
guess
okay.
the
So you
shank.
hit
Yeah.
that from the hosel, okay?
Yeah.
So give yourself a little bit more room there. Okay,
So
let me see.
just
Yeah, that's fine there. Yeah, good.
back here like this.
Hands forward.
Front
Yeah,
of the
perfect.
stand,
Good.
Here.
Good. That's really just perfect. You see, it bounced, you know, and it's rolled
Yeah.
2-3 meters.
Do
Good.
I want to be turning afterwards or keep my body like?
Well, obviously this will be progressive as well in regards to how far your club is going, right? Obviously, you're not going to finish like with a full turn, like a full swing, but you will see your hips will like to go as well a little bit. So you can see when I do that shot, my hips are turning
Kinda
a little bit,
turning, yeah.
yes. So just let your body do what feels more natural, okay? I don't want you to be thinking, oh, I need to stay here. No, if your body wants to turn a little bit, it's fine, okay?
Yeah.
If we see that the result of the ball, you know, or what we're trying to achieve is not good, then we'll look into that. But
Okay.
just, you want to feel that your club is nice and relaxed and it's doing whatever the club is letting it do, you know?
Yeah.
You don't want to be...
Because I saw a tip the other day, like a crappy YouTube tip, I guess, where it was like you need to like remain still like this. And what's
Well-
happening is I'm doing this, and now I feel massive strain
Yeah,
up
well,
the
I mean,
side because my body wants to just.
Exactly. I mean, your
Yeah.
body, it's not like a full shot where your body is rotating, but still, your body would like to rotate a little bit. So if I'm trying to stay there, I mean, you potentially could injure yourself, you know? I
Yeah.
mean, not like a massive injury, but you could feel like your body pain, yeah. So just let your body go a little bit, it's fine.
Okay. Let's give that a crack then. All right, so back-ish of stance, stand back a little bit, hands forward,
Yeah.
and just relax. That was probably a lot.
A little bit too much
Yeah.
there, but you see the follow through there. So the backswing went, let's say, you know, until this position, and then the follow through went all the way up there.
Yeah.
What you really want to feel, if on a perfect world, is that your backswing for this shot, we matching the backswing and the follow through. Follow through
okay.
was a bit forward, so it's telling me that you did accelerate a little bit too much. That's why you
okay.
gave that extra 3 meters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's
Sure.
hit one more.
Nice. Let me just whack on that camera a second.
Yeah.
And then. There we go. Okay, so yellow flag
Yeah.
again. Same shot, less of a follow through.
Yeah.
Follow through equal
Backswing.
pretty much to the backswing.
Hands forward.
Like,
Yes,
hands
good.
forward.
Perfect. Good. That's perfect right there. Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
that's nice.
then, I'm sure if you were to come every single time, and you know, and when we're practicing the chip and runs, you were to do this technique, your scores will improve massively. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's like, you know, a low ball flight. You know, we put in the ball on the green and it's rolling. We have nothing in front. Where that's a situation when the green is pretty flat and we have nothing in, like no danger in front, no bunker or water to fly over. Right. Now, let's go now for the, let's choose a different flag, okay? So I want you to start hitting a little bit higher ball flights.
Maybe to the blue one.
Yeah, let's go for the blue flag, okay? I mean, for the blue flag, you could still
Bump and run.
bump and run, okay? But again,
Just imagine there's like
yeah,
a bunker.
yeah, exactly. Let's imagine we have something in here, okay? The green is a little bit short and we have a bunker. We want to bounce the ball a little bit closer to the flag, okay?
Okay.
So how would you do this?
I would probably just add a little bit more loft to the club.
Okay.
Like that.
Mm-hmm.
I would line up to the ball, try and put it, I know this is probably wrong, but usually what I did before is put it in the back of my stance.
Okay. So
And then just.
right. So when you put the ball in the back of the stance, it is true that the impact will improve, or I mean, it can improve. It should improve because you have it near your downswing, so you're gonna tend to hit the ball better. However, when the ball is back in your stance, okay, you will tend to hit low ball flight. Okay.
Ah, okay.
So it's the opposite. Low ball flight, you put it back in your stance. High ball flight, you put it in your left.
Okay. Is that the
Okay.
same for irons as well?
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, so if I wanted to hit a high shot, I'd put it forward in my.
Yeah, but you have to be careful because if you put it way too ahead, perhaps you start hitting
Thin it.
before the ball, or you could
Yeah.
thin it because the club, supposedly the arc of the club is obviously working down, and at some point it starts going up.
Yeah.
So if you put it too far left, the club perhaps is going up too much, so you get the center of the ball, and that's when you thin it.
Yeah.
Okay, but in preference, if you want to hit a higher ball flight, so for that flag, okay, you said ball back in your stance. So
Yeah.
I would say just put it center of your stance. We
Center
don't
of
need
stance,
like
okay.
to add
So like,
massive amounts of loft here, okay?
yeah, like
We're
25,
trying to-
30 yards,
Yeah,
middle of the stance.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I'm
Now,
probably-
what do you do there? Different.
I put acceleration like
And what's going on with your wrist?
a lot of wrist flick into
Okay.
it. Yeah. That's like
No,
I guess a
that's-
bad
that's-
habit of
no,
mine.
that's
is-
fine. So I like to break
Do
the short game in three areas. So we said short,
Yeah.
low, mid, and high, right?
Okay.
So when we hit a low ball flight, as we were doing to start, ball position was on my right, okay, and it was like short backswing and a short follow through. But as you can see, right, how is my hands and club head position finishing?
It's kind of equal, right?
Yeah,
it
but then
runs along-
what's higher? That, the club head? So the club head will end down and hands there, right?
So your hand's higher.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, mid ball flight, I'm gonna match that position, hands and clap, and hands and claps are gonna finish the same height,
Okay.
right? And when I want a high ball, I said I'm gonna put the ball slightly left, and the club will finish
Right at the top.
at the top, so higher
Okay.
on my hand. So that's, I'm using a little bit more
So
wrist.
here to like there,
Yes,
and then to there.
yes. So what you're doing with that,
Yeah.
obviously when you're releasing, you're adding loft to the
Yeah.
club instead of
Ah, so
maintaining
it's
it.
like- yeah.
Okay. Really, for that blue flag, perhaps you don't need to do so much, right? So for that blue flag, I would mid ball
So
flag.
like a mid ball flight.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. Okay.
So it'll be like just to here.
Yeah. So
to
ball
there.
in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ball in the middle. Hands forward as well.
Yeah, you
or
still want to
just-
have a little bit forward. Yeah, of course.
Okay, a little bit forward.
Okay, good. Perfect.
Kind of over exaggerated on the
That's good,
follow
though.
through then.
Yeah, that's okay though.
Great
That's
shot.
okay. That's a good result. Okay, good. And again, so you see that ball flight was still like, it was not super high. It was higher, but not super high. Okay, let's go
Yeah.
again. That was a nice flight. Okay. Okay, ball in the middle, perfect. Hands forward, good. Yes. Okay, you see that impact was quite not there. I mean, it was okay. The result was quite okay, but then it was kind of like, it looked to me, it was like, so there was barely any rotation of the body, right?
Okay.
So that time was just like your arms working up and down instead of
Yeah.
using your body. Oh shit!
Yeah.
I almost
so-
hit cameraman there.
Yeah. Mark's in danger.
Okay, let's go again.
Facing away from the balls, still gets hit. I absolutely, you know, you've met Pat, right, once?
Yeah.
He was filming from like the other side of the green,
Did you
shot
hit
like
him?
this. And I just finned it at like 100 miles an hour, but because he's looking through
Oh,
the
I
lens,
didn't see it coming.
he can't see, and he tried to jump out the way like that, and he just jumped directly into it.
Oh no, was he okay?
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, he's a tough lad. Oh, poor Pat. All right. So I want more rotation here.
Yeah, exactly. Good. Obviously, because the club's traveling more, so there will be a little bit more rotation of the body as well. Yeah.
Okay. I
Okay.
think I
Go again.
chunked that a little bit.
Yeah. Go again. Set up to that ball again. Okay. Give yourself a little bit more space between you and the ball. There you go, perfect, good. Good. Okay, now that's a very important thing that I'm sure like amateurs, not everyone does it, but when we're chipping or when we're playing on the course, the cleaner the grooves, the more spin you will get. So,
Okay.
for example, that shot wasn't too bad, but obviously we've been chipping, and if you look at the grooves, they're a little bit dirty. So that will be enough for to not give the ball enough spin to stop. I mean, it stopped, but probably with a cleaner groove or it would have more spin, it would stop. So that's very important. So one piece of advice to me for you or for everyone would be make sure your groove, ladies and gentlemen, are clean every single shot. Because yeah, that way you will play like.
I'm so guilty for that. I
Yeah?
never clean my club.
That's typical. Eh? Just hit a shot, put it in the bag, walk
Yeah.
away. You get to the next hole thinking, oh, that'll be fine. And then just like you see that ball rolling and rolling and rolling, it's like something's not right. No? And then you start changing things, and it's actually like your equipment which is not correctly cleaned, or you know.
But then, so like when you're practicing, you should clean it every couple of shots.
Yeah,
then,
I mean,
so you get
I mean,
the
if you
proper
wanna do it the right way, you should clean
Yeah.
it every single shot, like with a small brush, carry here. Just look at the professionals; they always carry a brush here on practice days.
feel. Yeah.
Every single shot, they clean the grooves. You
Oh,
know?
I need to get one of them then. Just so I'm gonna do 1,000 chips a day and 1,000 cleans a day. That's gonna add to the time. That is gonna add to the time.
Okay, let's go again.
All right.
Okay, we'll
Okay.
go one more to that blue flag. Okay.
So
So that's like we say you know, it's not a really high shot, but it's like a mid shot. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that was lovely. Okay. So it's bouncing, where more or less we said, and it's releasing. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that's fine. You're not gonna do more than 2 putts from there. Okay. That's
Yeah.
what you're.
Wow.
Well, you shouldn't, right?
Yeah, you shouldn't do more than 2 putts.
But
from there.
that's the main goal. Whenever we're chipping, what we cannot see is when you're here, and as you said, what happened on the weekend, it's like leave it there and then you go again, and you're losing shots. At least the minimum you should do is on the green 2 putts. If you can do 1 putt, amazing, right? But
Yeah.
more than 3 shots, that's like you're losing shots.
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
How
okay?
was I going? Like just straight under the ball though?
Well, as I said, you had the ball like, you know, way in the middle, okay,
Yeah.
which is not bad, but you know, but then your hand position was pretty much in line with the ball, so there's none of that. So then what's going on?
So-
If I do that, I mean, it's tough to do. If you try to do it now, probably you'll find it tough. But if you use a lot of your wrist, then you're adding loft, right? So then the club is just going, obviously the impact was good, but then you're adding a lot of loft.
Yeah.
So then the ball is just, boop,
Yeah.
you know, when you need those shots, that's when you find them tough to do. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, now let's go for the yellow flag there on the left.
Okay.
Now, this would be a situation where obviously the green is downhill, so we would probably need a higher shot here, okay? Let's have a look at this, okay? So now, you're gonna add loft, or you're gonna still square the face up to that?
Well, I guess you still want to kind of square it a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna want to just be more forward in the stance.
Okay, yes, good.
So like here,
Yeah.
maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and then lean forward,
Yes.
and then half. Well, with that distance, probably a half swing again.
Okay.
Like,
Let's have a go like that. Okay, so that's pretty good. However, you see that ball's running,
yeah, it's
right?
kinda-
It's up there though, but no, it's off the green. Yeah, so,
yeah.
okay, let's go again. One more. So I really like the ball position. So it makes sense, you want a higher ball flight, you put the ball a little bit further left. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Let's go again. What are you changing with your setup with your feet?
A bit
do
wider
do you know?
now.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that good or?
Yeah,
Or
it's
just
okay.
more
No,
like
no,
this?
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
right there.
But I mean, you probably do it without noticing it. Obviously, because you're doing a bigger swing now, you are looking for a wider stance for a little bit more stability. It's fine. You
Yeah.
do it naturally, which is good. You know, you have that. Okay, so that was great. Eh?
Okay.
Pole position left. Now let's see. Let's go again.
That's gonna roll.
Yep. Okay. Now, so this is how we're gonna do it. So that's fine. So that's a great situation, right? So again, what I'm looking is to make sure it reaches there, but not off the green if possible, because
Yeah.
then you've done 2 shots exactly the same. So what you're gonna do, ball position on the left. Now you see it's a 56, right? So you're gonna have to add a little bit of loft. So how do we add a loft? You open
Just
the face a
turn the
little bit,
club,
yes.
yeah.
Because you're adding loft and you're opening the face, now I'm gonna have to change my alignment, right? I'll aim more left because if not, I'm gonna miss right.
Ah, okay. Did
Yes.
not know that.
Yeah, I'm gonna aim a slightly left because if I aim straight to my target and I open that, that face is aiming to the white flag. So if I was to hit it, the ball's gonna go to the right. So I'm gonna change my feet line slightly more left of target, open the face a little bit, and now I'm gonna do exactly the same shot you did, right? So until here, more or less. Well, then it's a matter of muscle memory, how far you have to go back and forward. But I'm gonna hopefully bring it all the way up here, so you can see I'm
Okay.
using my wrist,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna let my wrist go, and hopefully it'll be a good shot. Okay.
Yeah.
So open the face, aim slightly left, feet a little bit wide because I'm going to have a bigger swing, and then you see that ball came up a bit too far left. Stop. Okay, that's on the green. It's not perfect. Let's go again. So I probably aimed slightly too far left. As I said, I've not been playing too much. So
There you go. Getting excuses here.
right, here we go, and again. So left. I hit it behind. Stop.
Going
In.
Oh.
Ooh, almost, okay. But you see, I'm still on the green, okay. I think I could go a little bit softer. I'm just hitting it not on the right spot. But that's kind of like the action you would like to do. So let's go again.
Yeah.
You do it now.
It's more wrist motion than before.
Yeah,
like-
exactly. Now, this is something that people barely speak about it, right? So when we're chipping, the pressure you put on the grip, so let's say on your long game, right? When you hit and drive, your pressure, if you were to do a scale of 1 to 10, 1 is obviously clubs
Like-
dropping and 10 is just like
Strangling it. Yeah.
How much pressure do you put in your long game?
Probably 7.
Okay. Now short game should be much less.
Ah,
Okay,
really?
yes.
Ah. I always try and go harder on the short game because
Especially when we're looking for a high ball flight, because you want the wrist to be, using the wrist.
Okay.
If you strangle and put pressure, not only you putting pressure to the grip, but you're also putting pressure to your forearm.
Okay.
So you will feel a little bit more restricted in regards to, I feel it easier. That's a personal opinion, eh?
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's many coaches out there that will agree with this. If obviously you still want to have control of the club. You don't want the club
just
to,
like slide
right?
out.
But just want to feel much softer hands. Okay.
Because I think I've got this false association with the tighter you hold the club, the more you're concentrating, which is just like I know it's completely false. Like when I was in England with Harry, the coach I was practicing with there, one of the things he got me to do was just basically loosen up on the grip, because I think before it was like 10 out of 10. Like I'm death gripping it, tense, and just like
no, you want to feel much softer. So if I was to like that shot, I was feeling it's like I was a 4 out of 10. Okay, like normally my shot is like a 6 pressure wise.
Ah,
a
really?
Full shot,
Okay.
yeah. And then here is like a 4
Okay.
for this shot.
That's good to know. Yeah.
Good.
Just like
Okay,
that.
so
So front of stance.
Yes, you open the face a little slightly.
Face. I noticed your front foot was going more like that.
Yes, that's like a
Is that
natural
just a
position. So for
preference,
me,
maybe?
you see, I have my hip mobility, my left hip mobility is not great. So I've developed, or I found myself more comfortable when I open my toe, like,
Yeah.
So it's easy for me. I've already have my left hip open a little bit.
Okay.
But then you can try and see what's better. Obviously, you barely see any players you know, with the feet like totally straight. For me, it's totally anti-natural because of the way I walk through the street as well. I mean, I don't walk like that, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
still, like, if you were to look, my walk-in would be like my toes are going a little bit out. You are as well, a
Yeah, I
little
guess
bit.
I am as well. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I feel it easier to rotate through my left hip when I have that left.
Okay. For the long shots as well.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try that slightly. Right,
Okay,
so
open the face.
open the
I would
face.
open this a little bit. Yes,
Alright,
good.
open that a bit
There you
more.
go. Yeah, maybe. Okay, yeah, they're perfect. Okay. Good. That's better than mine.
There we go.
That was pretty good. You know, so that to me, okay, impact was not quite perfect.
Yeah, it didn't
However,
feel good.
it looked to me like the club worked really nicely through the ground. Okay, now if you hold that club very tight and you don't let go of the club, you're probably not going to be using the bounce. You use the bounce perfectly there because you hit it behind, but the bounce did its work and it bounced back and it perfectly hit the ball, right?
What, so it like bounced off the floor
Yeah, it
before
bounced
the
through.
club?
Yeah, exactly. But now,
Right.
if you were not to use your wrist and you hit it behind, what happens with the edge? It
Ah,
gets stuck.
okay.
So that's when you like the ball would be there, perhaps. Or
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, good, perfect.
Oh, so it's definitely better to do that in most
Obviously, we're
scenarios
looking
then,
for
'cause-
like a high shot here.
Yeah.
You know, because the green is really going downhill as well. You know, and it's pretty fast, so you nearly barely need to bounce it on the green on the top of the cliff, and then it will go down. Good.
Yeah. Okay, right. So front stance.
Yeah. Open the face
Move that
slightly.
foot a little bit. Open the
Yeah,
face a bit.
perfect. Yes, nice.
Like that. And now we just want that flick of the wrist.
Very nice.
That felt good.
Good. That's the best so far. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Good, good. Well done. Very, very good.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, these shots are, you know, the flags here are in a good position, so we have greens, but sometimes you would find that flag way shorter than that, so you even need to hit it like softer, you know, and bounce it soft.
Yeah.
So that's when you open the face a little bit more.
This is going to help a lot because at Costa del Rada there are some dangerous pin positions
Mhm.
where they're like basically on the edge of a cliff. Like
Yeah.
if you go like 1 meter long,
Yeah, you
you're
do-
pitching wedging back up.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, no. So you know, having at least like different ways of chipping or different resources, let's say, you know,
Yeah.
not always having to chip it the same way. Sometimes you need a high ball, sometimes you need a lower ball. You know.
That's true. I think that's going to help a lot with what people comment a lot on the channel is that like my course management's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So like having more like shots in your arsenal,
Yes.
it's going to give me more to think about and
Exactly.
then help me eliminate like bad shots.
Yeah,
as well.
and then
So-
obviously from out of these three shots, like low, mid, high, you probably find yourself like more comfortable with a higher shot. You know, one of the, you know, I hit the easiest one for me. I like bump and run, right?
Yeah.
I mean chip and run. So, but obviously if you practice these three different shots with the same club, I think when you find yourself out on the course, you'll be able to get in better positions and having better scores
Yeah.
than just being, you know, standing there like, oh, okay, I'm just going to put the ball there and chip it, you know. At least okay, I'm going to try, you know, hit a high shot, let it run, wherever, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of practice then, obviously. But technique-wise, I have to say it wasn't as bad as I thought, as you said.
Yeah.
But then I think it was just not quite there. Like a couple of misunderstanding things, like having your hands like way behind the ball,
Yeah.
and then your ball way ahead when you're trying to bump and run it. So you know, I think those three things are definitely going to make you improve. You know. So
Nice.
let's hit one more.
Okay. So open the club face. So if this was like a high lofted club here, like a 60-degree, I wouldn't be opening it, would I? I would just keep it.
Well, yeah, it may. I mean, it's a matter of probably you wouldn't need to open it so much. Perhaps yes, you want it. You know, then you could be a bit more aggressive and bouncing like near the flag because the landing angle would be more, you know, straight, so it
Yeah.
won't roll as much. But I would definitely like tell you to get a more lofted clubs, not only for chipping but for some bunker shots you could find, or for some other situation you would find yourself that you need like a really high shot. And
Yeah. I think next week we should do a bunker lesson, because
Yeah, we
that is
can.
also another massive question mark
Yeah.
in the game at the moment.
Yeah, we can do that. That's
Like,
fine.
I'll try to get a club as well, like a 60-degree, or maybe we can try next week with the 56 and see how it goes. Actually.
Yeah, sure, we can try it.
So here again, added a bit of loft, forward in the stance, took a little step back, and the wrist a little bit.
Okay, you see, okay,
That was
that technique-wise it was fine. The only mistake there was just your backswing was way too short. Okay?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
adding a little bit more loft. Okay, one more. Give me a good one to finish.
Here we go, in the hole.
Okay, good. I mean, better result, but still your backswing was a little bit short. But still, I mean,
Yeah.
you can manage and play around with that. That's fine. You know, if that was
Yeah.
your worst shot, that's fine. You're on the green. You're able to make one putt, if not two putts, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully,
Right?
yeah.
But no, yeah, just take this and then obviously practice it, and then we'll see next week how you're getting on, and hopefully, if you go on the course, we'll see better results.
Yeah, nice one. Perfect. Thank you very much.
No problem. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. There we go. We can end that there.
Stick am toe. Right, I'm gonna have to leave you, mate.
Yeah.
Can you do me a massive favor?
Yeah.
Do you mind if you...
I'll pick all them up. Yeah. Where do you want that? In there?
Yeah,
after?
I'll be in there coaching. So.
Nice one. Cool. Cool.
I'll see. We'll Sunday. We'll
Yeah.
speak about Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, I think